Hello, hello. All right. I did promise a little bit of an update earlier. It was supposed to be on Monday, but I've been working a lot. So, I got a little bit overburdened for a short moment of time and figured I'd postpone it a little bit. And suddenly, it's fucking Friday. But, of course, this was the plan all along to make a little bit of a video where I talk about things. So there you go. So we are closing up very soon on the half-year mark since V came out, and honestly, it's been one of the craziest half years so far. At this point, I am closing up on 3 years of making avatars actually, and I mean, as you guys have seen, I have been consistently improving on every release that I've done, and I intend to keep that as a trend, of course, because I learn new things every time that I make something new, and that is your guys' benefit, of course, when I manage to finish something. Of course, I do this for fun. I do this on the side of my regular job, so that's why I'm technically a little bit slower, especially now that I'm getting to the level where it's a very involved compared to what it was in the past. So everything takes a little bit longer, and I gotta make sure to cover a lot more things than I had to in the past, because avatars as a whole has become a lot more complicated than they used to be. But V came out in I think it was the last half of April somewhere, and she has to this day become my biggest avatar so far. It is actually pretty crazy how many people have picked up V and still are picking up V. I am so fucking grateful. It is beyond what I imagined that V has reached a lot bigger audience than I ever expected, because I thought she was going to be a little bit of a niche thing. But after review was released, I did say that I wanted to take a little bit of a break. I wanted to have a summer vacation and everything, and that's kind of what I did. I didn't really do too much for a couple of months, but I have to admit, I was still messing around in Blender. But I mean, there are some people who have actually seen my activity feeds and know that I've been I have not been avoiding Blender or Unity at all. I've still been messing around with things, so I don't think people are too surprised about that. But right now, as some of you know, the people who follow the updates channel very often, I am getting closer and closer to a new model. And of course, every time that I make a new model, I try to make her unique and not the same as anything else that I've done before. And initially, she was supposed to, because it's been a long time since Nila came out. Nila was a little bit on the cutesy side while still keeping a little bit of the sexiness, And I wanted to try to make a little bit of a model that also was cute. So this one I started with V as the basis, because I usually do that. I use my previous models as a baseline and then see where I go from that. And I did the same thing with this one, which I'm going to call Saylie. And Saylie was initially very pink and fluffy. And I was bashing my head against the wall. I could not get this pink and fluffy thing to work at all. It was extremely difficult to get something solid from it. But over time, I've been messing around with different themes and everything. So we went from pink and fluffy to very hot goth bitch. Not anywhere close to each other at all, but it's kind of funny how it turned out. But at this point, Saylie is very much solidifying. I've been testing her a little bit in game. Some people have seen a little bit of here and there. I did post a little bit of a video showing off her face I think it was last week. But I figured, that was a little bit of a cheap reveal, to be honest. I took it away, and then I'm gonna do a little bit more of a proper showing of her while she's a little bit more presentable. Today I have been sitting for God, a lot of hours and squishing her down so she becomes like a little bit more of a manageable size. She was very, very, very heavy. She has a lot of stuff going on, but at this point, I'm getting pretty ready to throw her back into Unity after the first test that I had, where we're very far under 30 materials, we're under 20 meshes, and we'll see if we can manage to squish the VRAM usage pretty low as well. So this is going to be very interesting to see how optimized I can get this while still being a really, really, really hot girl. Another thing to take of note is that earlier I had a very strict theme on all my avatars. So like, for example, V, she didn't have any like special animal ears of sorts because she was an elf. And with Neela, she was a little bit of like a I don't even know, like some kind of puppy girl, I guess. Whilst Julia was a little bit more of a fox girl. Saylie is gonna break that mold a little bit more, because this is the first time I'm introduce a puppy girl, but she can also be a cat girl or a fox girl. But I think there's been some people asking me to do a puppy girl for the longest time, so this is like, yes. She's also very... Her figure is pretty hourglassy, so she's gonna be... If you think I am thick right here, then yeah, you're in for a little bit of a treat. She is very, very, very sexy. But with that said, I think within a few weeks' time, I think she's going to be ready to be possibly shown off. Originally, I was aiming for having her ready for Halloween. And I could potentially rush that. But at the same time, I've always been the believer of once you're going to do something, just do it properly. Don't rush through it and have something that feels half-baked. So I'm gonna take my time to finish Saylie properly. So she's gonna probably be ready before New Year's. I think before Christmas, definitely, because that gives me a couple of months to work out her kinks and stuff. But I highly doubt that she's gonna be ready before Halloween or like before the end of this month. But before Christmas, for sure, I will say. Because I'm that far into it at this point that Christmas is a very reasonable timeline. And I will be showing her once I feel like she's ready to be shown off. Some people have seen a little bit, but yeah, let's see. I'll show a little bit more later on. But that is not all. I've also partnered up with one of the more skilled and experienced world creators in VR chat. He's been making one of the higher level club worlds that some of the top tier clubs in VR chat has been using for a while. He's very experienced in many years of world creation, because I was thinking I was gonna try to do it myself, but as I said earlier, if you're going to do something, do it properly. So I wanted to give VR chat something a little bit extra, and I feel like one thing that has always been a thing that I see a lot is that during weekends and stuff, people tend to gather in the same worlds over and over again. We got the round table, we got Winnie's, and we got the party house world. It's like, it's not that many places. So by investing I would say a good sum of money into this. I am going to be investing in a professionally made map that is going to probably be called the Crunchy Club. It's not going to be like Club, but it's just it just rings well off the tongue, off the tip of my tongue. Um, so it has a nice ring to it. So if it's going to be called the Crunchy Club or not, that remains to be seen. But we're going to make it a party world where people can hang out during the weekends, but also during the weekdays. We're going to have the possibilities of having DJ sessions there. So there's going to be possibilities of that. There's also going to be a dancer training room, or if people want to show off their dance skills, they can go to a little bit of a booth on the side. If you've been to FBT Heaven, you'll kind of recognize that area a little bit. And then, of course, since it is supposed to be like a weekend hangout map, it's also going to be a bunch of games. We're going to have the best pool games, and a bunch of others that we haven't settled on 100% what we're going to include with the games. But rest assured that once this map is done, or this world is done, I'm going to be holding a relatively big event in this map. So it's going to be exciting to see. This is also going to be before New Year's. So we got two big things happening before the end of the year. So during 2025, we're still going to have some cool crunchy stuff happening. So I'm really looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I'll be mostly focusing on Saylie and getting her ready. But one feature about the crunchy map that we're going to have is that you're going to be able to walk in a specific door where it's like a special room that is far off into the distance. So you're called away where you can pass all of my avatars, even the paid ones. They all work inside that room. But if you leave that room with a paid avatar, it's going to become invisible or whatever. It's not going to be working too well. So, but that thing is that like a lot of people have been considering my avatars but never picking them up. So this will allow people to go in there and test them out and see if they actually like it. So, but if they like it while they're in the testing room, they can go and pick it up, because that kind of I'm just trying to meet people halfway there. So if there's anything that you would be curious about or that I have released, you can go there and try it out. You just can't bring it everywhere in VR chat. They only work in that room specifically. But it is the closest thing I can do to let people try stuff out. Same as the avatar market and stuff, where you can like test an avatar, but only you can see it. Here, everybody can see it, but only in that room. So it's the best I can do there. But that is all for now. I hope you guys are gonna have a wonderful weekend, and I might be seeing you at Shameless, or I might be seeing you around the party worlds or something like that this weekend. So I hope you're gonna have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys later on.